welcome to Kitchen Basics 101, where I teach you the bare bone basics as if you've never cooked a day in your life from the perspective of a mom. Making myself a snack apple, and I thought maybe some people don't know a great way to cut up an apple if you don't have one of those apple slicers, which are not my favorite because apples come in all different sizes, and those slicers just come in one size. Plus, you know my rule. If I can't do more than one thing, it doesn't belong in my kitchen. Well, here's a couple of multi-purpose tools. One, I've got my little teeny cutting board, which I love for snacks. I always do grilled cheeses on this, and I serve the grilled cheese right on it. My other multi-purpose tool, chef's knife. So I washed my apple really good, and I dried it off with a paper towel. And then you just put it on its flat bottom, and you start by cutting it in half, okay? Voila, half. And I'm gonna turn it on its flat side, and I'm gonna cut it in half again. Now what I'm left with is a quarter. Now if you just wanna quarter it, you can go here and take out the seeds. And what I do is I go in from the side. But what I like to do is go one more. So I'm gonna go across the top, and I'm gonna cut this in half one more time. So now I'm in eighths. I'm gonna lay this on its side, and I'm just going, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm just gonna go in on an angle like this. And that takes the core piece out. I'm gonna show you again. Lay the apple slice on its side, go in and just cut, you can cut as much or as little as you want. Just cut that core piece out. And so what you're left with from each eighth is just this little piece of the hard core section, okay? So I cut it in half, in half, and in half. And then I just cut this central core section out by laying it on its side, boop. Now, are there other ways to cut an apple? Of course there are. This is just how I do it, and I find that this is an easy way. And then you have perfect little slices to snack on, or put peanut butter on, or, oh, dropping popcorn on the floor, Bubba. 8 pieces of apple. And it doesn't matter how big or how small your apple is, you can do this exact same thing, and you're gonna get the exact same results. So, I'm allergic to nut butter, so I eat mine with cookie butter, and it's so delicious. A little talk about, bacteria. I see a lot of people who are like, I'm the only one eating out of the jar, and so they'll eat out of the jar with a spoon, which, don't get me wrong, I love. Or they'll spread this on here and then they'll reintroduce it back into the jar. And here's the problem, whether you're only the one eating it or not, the germs from your mouth and the germs from the apple get in here and it will make it spoil. Like, it's still bacteria. Even though it's not someone else's bacteria, which is gross, it's still bacteria. So if I put a spoon in here and I eat this, put it in my mouth, put the spoon back in here, I'm putting my mouth germs in here and they're gonna grow. And if I stick this apple in here, the temptation, and swipe it, it's totally fine, but then the apple sugars are gonna be in here and that's gonna spoil the jar too. So just keep that in mind. Romy wants to do a taste test with you.
Yeah.
He's eating his apple. I'm eating mine with nut butter. Or not nut butter, why do I keep saying that? Cookie butter.
Go.
So good.